I don't understand. What am I even supposed to do?
Isn't that simple? You do what you always do. You live.
But that gets harder every day. There are people in power.
Hold up right there. People in power, you say? But no power they hold against you can even compare to the power that's inside of you.
Yeah, well, the rent's getting pretty damn expensive.
Rent? You don't pay rent. Okay, perhaps not. Perhaps I'm lucky in that regard.
But it's rhetorical. Because this isn't just me.
Is it not? Tell me, who are you?
Well, I'm an artist. I like to make music.
So then you're merely your actions. Is that right? Maybe you'd consider yourself your hobbies as well. Maybe your name? Maybe any of these things. An artist? And what if you lost yourself?
Well, I'd still be a musician then.
And if you lost your hearing?
Well, I'd still be Clover.
And what if your name was taken from you as well?
How would you take a name from someone? That doesn't even make sense.
The Fae do it all the time, don't they?
I feel like you're not taking this seriously.
Like I said, it's not just me. There are real people with real problems that are suffering right now.
And it feels like I'm powerless.
By whose definition?
Well, by the people in power, obviously.
Oh, so it's the people in power who get to decide who you are. Is that right?
No, not at all. I mean, they get to manipulate things about the world that affect me, but they don't get to decide who I am.
And yet you'll let them decide that you're powerless. Is that right?
Well, it's not like I have the money to just snap my fingers and fix poverty or starvation, homelessness, illness. There's so many things that are out of my control.
Is that what you seek then? Control?
No, I don't want to control things. I just want them to be better.
Well, isn't that the answer to your question then? If you want things to be better, then make the world a better place.
Well, it's easier said than done. What am I supposed to do? I don't have money, I don't have assets, I don't have connection.
Money's nothing but a bunch of paper. Assets? How do you define those? No connections? What about the friends you've made along the way?
Even then, isn't it minuscule in comparison to what we're up against?
You think it's minuscule, do you? Look around you. The people you claim to be in power are afraid. They're very deeply, innately afraid of you and everyone around you. You say they're in power? Why would they be afraid if that were the case?
Well, I mean, when someone gets power, they usually don't want to lose it.
And what if they never really had that power to begin with? What if they just convinced you all, that they did?
What the fuck are you saying? They imprison people. They enslave people. They kill people on a whim. Because of the power that they hold.
Ah, so that's it. You're afraid of death then. Just like most of you. Because you don't see the big picture.
Yeah? And what's that?
It's you. And you. And them. And that person over there. And this tree. That rock. And that river flowing down the stream. And these machinations, they're part of it too. Even if they were made after the fact.
I don't get what you're saying.
Didn't you watch a video recently? Something about a tapestry and how you're just a string in it or something like that? Isn't that what inspired you to make this video? Hey, you weren't. What are you worried about? That you're unoriginal or something? What's originality? Well, it's making something of your own. Is that so? And how do you do that? You can't answer because everything will come from somewhere, doesn't it? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Things don't just appear out of thin air. I've seen things that would disagree with that. Isn't it marvelous? This world is so much more confusing, so much more magical than you ought to give it credit for. I feel like we've gone on a tangent. My question at the beginning is, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to do to make this better? That's simple. You do the same thing you always have done. You exist. Before you came here, you wrote your story. And as you live here, you write your story. And once you're quote-unquote done, you'll have written your story. I still don't follow what you're saying. Naive as always, aren't you? But that's by design. They might hold power in physical matters over the body. They might hold power in mental powers over the mind. But they can never capture your soul. And what good will that do me if I'm stuck in a rut? If there's nowhere for me to go? You were worried about being powerless, weren't you? But the freedom of the soul is an infinite power that can never be contained. So is that all you have for me? Platitudes, sayings, cliche phrases? You could take it that way, if you wanted to. Or you could eternalize it. Look inside yourself, and discover what that really means. You ask what you should be doing as if you have one specific purpose, as if you're just some tool with a use. A pickaxe used to mine a rock, a shovel used to dig the dirt, a hoe used to till the soil. Is that what you are? No, I'm me. I'm none of those things. And it looks like you know exactly who you are as well. Wasn't that your other question? What the fuck are you saying? I'm saying you should take a breath and believe in yourself a little bit more. Do you know the chances there are that you would even come into existence? Not even a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a percent. And yet here, against all odds, you are. So trust that exactly what you need will come to you exactly when you need it. And you'll find exactly what you need to do at the exact right moment. So you're telling me to have faith? Is that it? Faith in some higher power, some God or something? I was raised on something like that. They gave me this book to read, and I read it and realized none of them had read it themselves. Are you telling me to do something like that? Ah, religion. Yes, that's one of your many inventions. You think that you can find the truth in someone else's words. But if you wanted to cool yourself off, would you put yourself into a deep fryer? No, it's going to do the exact opposite thing. Why then, for the questions that lie in yourself, do you look outward for the answer? I guess that's a good point. Isn't it great then? Realizing just how free you are? After all, freedom comes from within. It can never be taken from you. Because there is no difference between you and I.